Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome back to the Boeing 777-300ER. Today we are going to escape the European winter and make our way down to Réunion, which is a beautiful island located in the South Indian Sea. Now, this is going to be a lovely flight in a 470-seat Boeing 777 as operated by Air France on the route. So I'd say without any further ado, we get right into this one and make our way through the cockpit. Now, it's been a little while since we've flown the 777-300ER, so I'm really looking forward to it. Now, at this point, also thank you very much to FSDG for providing a copy of Réunion as airport for our flight today. Now let's take a seat on the captain's seat of this 777 and start getting a little bit of stuff done. We're going to start up here with the aileron that we are going to turn on, and we'll also get that external power on, which seems to have been disconnected earlier. Now, from here, let's move right down and check all the ICAS messages that we have up here, and that is all looking fantastic. Engine oil quantity is full and the hydraulic quantity is full as well. Lovely. So with all of that out of the way, we can start with our aircraft setup. Now let me get that status on my side and the doors on your side, and then we can head right down into the EFB to request our flight plan so that I can give you guys a briefing on what we are about to do today. So starting with the en route maps, then we are departing Paris and then heading all the way across the Mediterranean, Egypt, Jeddah, down southbound along Eritrea, and eventually through Ethiopia and Somalia, and then straight down towards Réunion. Now, our significant weather charts are giving us a little bit of turbulence over here over Italy, and then heading southbound we've got good weather all over, crossing the intertropical convergence zone just north of Madagascar. Now for our airport weather, we are departing Paris with northerly winds, temperature 2 degrees, and our destination in Réunion, beautiful weather, 29 degrees, temporary showers of rain moving through that we might encounter throughout the day, and well, apart from that, good weather conditions. Our alternate in Mauritius is looking really good as well, so overall beautiful weather. Now for our ETOPS, we start with Addis, which is beautiful, then we got Mombasa, beautiful as well, and finally our destination in Réunion, which as mentioned has a little bit of weather but overall is quite good. Now an on-time departure at 16:20 is going to result in an arrival just about on time, and 16:20 is in 21 minutes, so we better get our aircraft ready. Rather high zero fuel weight, and that's because of all the passengers that we're carrying today. 400 and I just can't believe it. That's so many passengers. That's an almost all-economy 777. Quite incredible, isn't it? Alright, now all of that in mind, there is some chance for thunderstorms at our destination, so I do want to take a little bit extra fuel for that. Let's say 20 minutes on top so that we can wait any CB out. Now 20 minutes, looking up here, equals about 2,000 kilograms, and then we need fuel to carry that, so another 600. So overall we've got 105. So 103 tons should be good to go for today's flight. Then we arrive with plenty of extra fuel in our tanks. So 103 tons, let's go weight and balance, import our weights, and then we can change those figures down here, 103, like that. Okay, lovely. Our airplane is loaded. Then let's go right down into the data link system. Starting down here on the FMC, we got the 777-300, nav database up to date, G90 engine. We can copy and paste the GPS position, and then we can start our route request based on our SimBrief route. While that's in progress, let's also move down to our ACAS over here, and we are looking for an ATIS request from Say Intentions, and that's gonna be Lima Fox Papa Oscar. Why is that not working? LFPO, that should be correct, and it is. Okay. Alright, lovely. So let's load that route, and at the same time we are requesting the Asus over here to know where we are going. Alright, so let's get that flight plan and start with our FMS. So, departure, runway 07 most likely, and we got the Bubli to Golf departure. Down here, Bubli to Golf. Now, for the arrivals, we are looking for an ILS Zulu approach, runway 14, Uvena to Romeo arrival, which is that one. And then let's just see where that ends, and we end up at T-Zob. Okay, we do actually not have a transition for that, so for the time being, that is fine for me. Okay, route, activate. Then let's see, our Asus has also just arrived. Paris Orly, information, Quebec. Departing runway 7, 020 at 14, broken 2600, 2 degrees, 1015. Set once and set twice. Okay, so our route is in here. Then let's go ahead and find our charts and cross-check our SID, Bubli to Golf. Provided we can find it. Here we go, Bubli to Golf. That's it. So that's straight at Papa Oscar 081. Let's get that ND down here in plan mode, and here we go. Papa Oscar 081, Papa Oscar 082, 083, 084, Bartok, Bartok and Bubli. Baxia is missing, isn't it? Actually, no, that's Baxia departure only, so direct to Bubli, that's looking fantastic. And there is no speed restriction that the plane would have removed. Fantastic. Okay, so then we can execute that routing. Let's go to the route data and load the wind data down here. Execute, and the same for the descent forecast uplink, and that gives us a ground distance of 5,212, which matches the flight plan. Lovely. Okay, we don't need anything in the RADNAV page. LFPO on the fixed page with a 25-mile ring. VNAV page, transition altitude 5,000, and that is checked against our SID. Then let's continue with the performance data. We can accept that uplink, but we are going to cross-check it nonetheless. So starting down here, alternate 4.4, final 3.3, so that is 7.7, so slightly higher than the uplink reserves. Flight level 310, cost NX 30, minimum fuel temperature minus 44, cruise CG 30, and then let's go to the takeoff page. We are going to fly noise abatement procedure number 1 down here, so acceleration height in 3000. Okay, and that's pretty much our pre-flight completed for the time being. Let's copy that route, and then we are going to open the perf init page here and the route page 1 there. Okay, starting our flight deck scan. Up here everything is done, fueling is complete, so the seatbelts are coming on. That's checked and that's checked. Now moving up front, we've got airports and terrain, the same on the other hand side. Over here the flight directors are coming on. Initial climb probably gonna be 5,000, so let's just set 5.1 down here. And the runway heading is going to be like 073. Like this. And the speed 200 for the time being, with the auto thrust arm switch going into the arm position. Okay then, so on the right hand side we don't need to do anything. Over here everything is done. Then the QNH is 1015, auto brake RTO, park and brake is set, and for the radios That's it for the time being. Weather and turbulence is selected. We would have a third pilot on a long flight like this. Oh no, just can't turn the flight interphone on, otherwise the Boris sound pack goes to ANR mode, which is nice for, you know, being in flight, but since we aren't in flight yet, we are not gonna go there just yet. TCAS above, Squawk 2000. Like that, and most definitely not in a TCAS mode on the apron. Alright, and that's our pre-flight procedures completed. So we've got information Quebec. Let's go ahead and request our departure clearance. So ATIS Quebec, the station is LFPO. Our gate is... Does it actually say that anywhere? Doesn't, huh? Okay, well that's fine. Then let's have a look at the chart. Okay, taxi chart for aircraft above 36 meter. Nope, taxi chart 777-300. That's the one we're looking for. And then we also need the parking stands. Let's see, is that north apron? No, that's south apron. Yes. And we're sitting over here on Alpha 03. Alright, let's say bonjour, and that's all checked, all looking good. Let's send that clearance request. Alright, so that's everything done that we could do for the time being, so let's move on to our departure briefing. So we are going to depart Paris Orly on the runway 07 via the, what's that thing called, Bubli to Golf departure initial, probably 5,000, MSA 4,000, and extra fuel and time we are going to have plenty. Now our taxi has no hotspots and the stop margin for the RTO is more than plenty. In case we continue, the engine outset is straight at 25 miles to pick up a holding. And finally, if we decide to come back, then we are overweight, but that is not going to be too much of an issue. Now, I've got nothing special, I've got nothing non-standard, and that's it for the briefing. Any questions? No? Lovely. So that's our departure briefing complete. So, clearance being processed, stand by. Thank you. And clearance again being processed. Here's our clearance. Okay, so cleared to Réunion via Bubli to Golf departure, which is confirmed. Maintain 4,000. Set. Then departure on 127.75. 775, my apologies. No, actually 750. Like that. Squawk 1471. Okay, and expect runway 7. Accept, send. Okay, and that's our clearance confirmed. Lovely, and accepted. Good. So then, let's do the pre-flight checklist. Oxygen. Always forget that in the 777. Once. Twice. Where is that button? 3 times. So, oxygen test at 100%. Flight instruments, heading 342, altimeter 1015, reading 300, set left, set right. Pre-flight checklist complete. Okay then. I'd say boarding is completed, prepare for pushback and departure, de-icing is not required, and then let's say hello to our passengers. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, je m'appelle Emmanuel et that's all French I know. I'm your captain on today's Air France flight to Réunion. We're expecting a mostly smooth flight with a flight time of 10 hours and 45 minutes, and we do expect an on-time arrival at our destination. For the time being, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and if there is anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew. Alright, so external power can be disconnected. So release, and the parking brake is set. Chocks are released. Okay, arm all doors. And then we are done with that part. So let's go for our weight and balance. So zero fuel weight 225.8. And that's a gross weight of 328.8. That is checked. Then takeoff CG 28. So Orly, runway 7. Takeoff weight in kilos, please. And that's 329. And a CG at 28. Weather can be imported. Air conditioning auto, anti-ice off. That's all looking fantastic on a dry runway. Calculate. And that's 33 degrees assumed temperature. 100.3% N1 versus 100.6. That is good enough for me. Okay, so flaps 5, CG 28, and the speeds 171, 182, 189. Like that. Alright. So that's all looking good. Then we are pretty much done. Okay, so 7 minutes to go to our departure time. That looks very good. Ground from flight deck. Please confirm that all the doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed, and the bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed. Thank you. Then we are calling for pushback clearance. And can we pressurize the hydraulics? Yes, Captain, you're clear to pressurize. Roger. So, ride system first. Like that. That's all looking good. We're looking for 5 units trim. So, before start checklist. Flight deck door. Is closed and locked. MCP. V2 189, heading 071, altitude 4000. Takeoff speeds V1 171, VR 182, V2 189. CDU pre-flight complete. Trim 5 units, 0 and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Holding at the beacon. Okay, then we're pretty much done. So let's call ground and get our pushback clearance. So, Orly ground 121.705. Orly ground, bonjour, Air France 648, request pushback and startup. Pushback and startup approved, facing west, Air France 648. Okay, before start checklist complete. So, ground flight deck, pushback and startup approved, facing west, and the parking brake is set. Roger, release parking brake please. Parking brake released. Merci, starting the pushback and stand by for engines. Roger. And here we go. Okay, the 777 does take a little bit longer than the 737 to start the engines, so as soon as we're clear of the road over here, we are going to commence our engine startup. Facing west means the nose is going to come to the left, and that is looking good. Then we're ready for a startup. Okay, ground, we're starting engine 2. And I just noticed I forgot to turn on the audio channel for ATC for you. Good thing you haven't missed much, except for me distracting you from the ramp agent just getting squashed by the pushback tug. Okay, we've got a good start in engine 2, starting engine 1. Clear 1. Engine 1 start.
Runway 7 taxi via Whiskey 1, Whiskey 37.
And the pushback is completed, set brakes. Parking brake set. And the ramp agent got run over again. The wing walkers are committing suicide as well back there. Get help, really, guys. So yeah, that means from the entire ground crew today, only that one wing walker who spent his time over here is actually surviving. Casualty rate 66%. I'm not sure that's a number that I'd be proud of. In any case, here's the clear signal received. Then let's go with the after start procedures. Flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, and neutral. Okay, before taxi checklist, anti-ice auto, recall checked, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear, before taxi checklist complete. Air France 648 Heavy, request taxi. And that 737 there, better turn away.
Air France 648, runway 07 taxi via Whiskey 2, Lima 3, Whiskey 1, Whiskey 37.
Air France 648, taxi runway 07 via Whiskey 2, Lima 3, Whiskey 1, Whiskey 37. So, Whiskey 2, Lima 3, that short part Whiskey 1, and then Whiskey 37 should be down here, I think. Yeah, so like this. Okay, clear on the left side, and clear on the right side. Park and brake released. So, I'm sorry for that little little 737 up there, but if he's not moving, then we are moving. Come on, turn away, my small friend. No? Okay. We've tried. We've tried. Incredible how small the 7.3 is, isn't it? Hello. Now he's gone. Okay, the right side is clear. Alright. To review the takeoff briefing, basically nothing changed. Left seat takeoff, flaps 5, noise 2, correction noise 1, speeds 71, 82, 89, and straight ahead 4000, contact departure when advised. Engine out straight ahead 4000, and that's it. Any questions or suggestions? No? Alright, so that's a briefing completed. Then the cabin is ready. Before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist complete. Okay, Whiskey 37 is up to the left.
Ground, Air France 16 Romeo Juliet, taxi to parking.
Air France 16 Romeo Juliet, taxi to parking via Whiskey 44, Whiskey 1, Lima Mike, Whiskey 2, Lima Juliet, November, Whiskey 21, Whiskey 1.
Whiskey 44, Whiskey 1, Lima Mike, Whiskey 2, Lima Juliet, November, Whiskey 21, Whiskey 1, Air France 16 Romeo Juliet.
Okay.
Air France 648, contact tower on 120.5, bye-bye.
120.5, Air France 648, au revoir. Orly Tower, Air France 648 Heavy, ready for departure. So, departure 12775.
648 Heavy, Orly Tower, runway 07, wind 020 at 14, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 07 cleared for takeoff, Air France 648 Heavy. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Okay, the checklists are complete. Then we're ready to go. Such a strange feeling that we have so little items to do compared with the 737. Alright, we gotta take that full runway. Are you ready for a rolling takeoff? Suppose no answer is not a no.
On runway 07.
Takeoff. Oh god, GSX is blocking the click spot. Here we go. Takeoff. Thrust set and checked.
V1. Rotate.
Man, taking a lot of stick force to get her up. Gear up. LNAV, VNAV.
Air France 648, contact departure on 127.75.
127.75, Air France 648. Orly departure, bonjour, Air France 648 Heavy, passing 2,200, climbing 4,000.
Air France 648 Heavy, Orly departure identified, climb flight level 100.
Climbing flight level 100, Air France 648. Set, 100 checked, VNAV.
Air France 648, roger, maintain flight level 100.
Whatever. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. Flaps up.
Airframe 648, climb flight
Speed
level
check.
210.
Climbing flight level 210, airframe 648. Set, 210 checked, VNAV. Okay, flaps up, no lights. Autopilot. After takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist complete.
Airframe 648, contact Paris control on 136.75.
136.75, airframe 648. Okay, first set standard. Standard cross check, passing flight level 58 now. Paris control, bonjour, Air France 648 heavy, passing level 60, climbing level 210.
Airframe 648, Paris control identified, good evening.
Okay. So, anti-ice is full at work. I just love the automatic anti-ice on the 777. That is such a nice feature. So, 6 knots more than 250. Yes, 6 knots. Welcome to Germany. Right, 6 knots more than 250 is not really a problem. No one's going to complain about that. And with that, we are up and on our way to paradise once again. Just incredible to imagine that that plane can take like 470 passengers. I mean, probably not the most comfortable journey, to be completely honest, but if you're looking for comfort, I'm sure you can always book the Emirates first class to get down there. If not, well, then you just gotta accept that economy seating. Climbing flight level 260, Air France 648. Set, 260 checked, VNAV. Alright, let's see. 0259 and the schedule 0320. Beautiful. $16.2 with a minimum fuel of 7.7, so we have ample fuel on board. Okay, passing level 103, climbing 260. And look at that, getting right out of the clouds, even though I am going to keep the seatbelt signs on until we're through this thing over there. Let's see if we can actually have ourselves getting above that. Speed 280. Let's see if we can at least gain a little bit of height before going through this, because this definitely looks turbulent down there. Man, those clouds are looking good today. Except for that one. Those clouds and the light. Yep, I can actually get used to that. Alright, so seatbelt signs are remaining on until we're through this. We're not flying too fast here, that way we are avoiding a little bit of the effects of the turbulence. And that's it. Then there's probably not much that we can actually do about this. Well then, I'd say sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and if there is anything interesting happening, then I will absolutely let you know. So for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the trip. approach, bonjour, Air France 648 Heavy, flight level 151, descending 3000.
Roman Garros approach.
Air France 648 Heavy, Roland Garros approach. Expect the ILS Yankee runway 14 approach to Roland Garros.
Expecting the ILS Yankee runway 14, Air France 648. Okay.
ILS Yankee.
So, we are expecting the ILS Yankee approach runway 14. Let's go ahead and have a very quick look into what we've got now. The speed is in there. We got 25-mile ring for MSA awareness, and then we have an ILS approach down here. The approach starts in 3000 at the Fox India 14 with a 3-degree glide slope down to a minimum of 248, and we got all that stuff down here. In case of missed approach, straight at 1.5 DME, left turn, intercept radial 011 outbound La Réunion to intercept 15 miles on the downwind. Well, at 15 miles, intercept the 17-mile downwind back into the final. And, well, that's Sierra Delta Golf, which we can just tune on the NavRad page down here, just so that we have that one as backup as well. Autobrake 3 is selected, and we are going to do a config 30 landing, or flaps 30 landing on runway 14 over here. 2,670 meters available, and we'll be able to vacate right down here at the exit if we put the airplane down right at the holding point. Use of all runway turn pads limited to maximum 10 knots, so that's not much of a problem here. Okay, so that much for some general info as to what we are going to do. So let's go ahead and start the approach briefing, and then you'll know exactly what we are going to do. So we are inbound for an ILS approach runway 14. The MSA on this one is up to 5,000 as far as I remember. Minimum, say, minimum 248, go around, left turn out, climbing eventually to an altitude of 3,000 feet. Extra fuel and time, we are arriving at 14.5 and our minimum is 7.7, so we got 7,000 extra, that's roughly 1 hour. Looks like we wouldn't really have needed to take that at all because weather is perfect, but so be it. Alright, so for our arrival, we will be flying a flight director guided ILS approach, flaps 30, maximum reverse, autobrake 3, vacate the runway to the right hand side, and we'll aim not to use the turn pad, but we'll aim to vacate directly. Well, stop margin for the landing is approximately 500 meters, and we've got nothing special, nothing non-standard. Threats for the arrival is mostly the terrain, which is just south of the airfield. However, there is a little bit of a downpour near the airport as well, so we are going to use the weather radar on my side and the terrain display on your side to cover against both. I've got nothing else. Do you? Nope. Lovely, then that's our briefing completed. Okay then. Passing 10,000. Lights, signs, and a little bit of speed brake to lose that additional speed.
Air France 648 Heavy, speed below 250
We are now
knots.
beginning our final approach into
Yeah, we are reducing.
Please ensure that all electronic devices are turned off and stowed away until we have arrived at the gate. Kindly return your tray tables to their original positions and ensure
So here we go.
your seats
Speed is
are
approaching
in the
250.
correct position.
Easy going.
Fasten your seatbelts securely. The weather at our destination is quite pleasant, so we hope you enjoy your time here. Our assigned gate is Terminal 6. Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, lovely. So all that lovely stuff is done. Then let's go ahead and do the approach checklist, please. Altimeters, QNH 1015. Approach checklist complete.
Air France 648 Heavy, proceed direct CI-14. Descend altitude 3,000 feet. QNH 1015. Until established on the localizer, cleared for the ILS runway 14 approach.
Direct 10-mile final, runway 14, descend 3000 until established, cleared ILS 14, Air France 648. Okay, cabin ready. I like it. Drag required. I don't like it. Let's just lose the rest of that speed, please. Just gonna love the speed brake of the 777. Incredibly effective. So here we are, 140 knots, speed brakes are in, and here we go. Okay, so we are receiving Sierra Delta. And that's the correct ident. Lovely, then we're cleared for the approach. And approach is armed. So in a typical 777 manner, the airplane does of course not calculate our final deceleration segments, so let me help it a little bit here. Here we go, level change, and give me some speed brake, please. Half speed brake should do the job here, just to get slightly below the glide slope so that we have a little bit of margin to use to bleed off our airspeed later on. So 0300 UTC, the schedule is 0320, so we are running perfectly on time. I like it. Alright then. Manual flight. So, speed brake in, and let's reduce to the up speed.
Air France 652, direct receiving. Cleared for the ILS, Z runway 14 approach. Descend and maintain altitude 3,000 feet until established.
Down to 3,000 cleared for the ILS. Z14
Flaps 1.
approach, Air France 652.
Speed checked. Flaps 5. Speed checked. Flaps 5. Okay, we're exactly on the glide slope. Our speed is looking good.
Air France 648.
Vertical speed.
Contact Roland Garros Tower on 118.4 at CI 14.
118.4, Air France 648, ça va pas. Tower, bonjour, Air France 648, ILS 14. Localizer capture, glide slope capture, go around altitude 3000 set.
Air France 648, heavy, Roland Garros Tower, roger.
Alright, nicely established. Lovely terrain. But you better track that localizer accurately.
2500.
Terrain noted, and gear down, flaps 20. runway 14, clear to land, airframe 648 heavy. Flaps 30.
Airframe 648
Speed
heavy,
checked.
with 120 at 11. Runway 14, clear to land. Caution bird activity.
You have said that already. Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete. Checklist complete. Okay. Nicely established. Man, I like this. This definitely looks like a destination that I want to fly to more often. It's too bad that there aren't too many operators flying into here. So the field is in sight at the 12 o'clock. That dark grey thing there, that's our runway.
1000.
Checked.
Approaching 14.
That's checked.
Approaching minimum 300.
Checked.
Minimum.
Continue. Birds.
30, 20, 10.
Okay, speed brake up, thrust was normal.
$1,200
100 knots.
remaining.
Manual brakes.
900 remaining.
60 knots. Air France 648, we had a bird strike over the runway threshold.
Air France 648, roger, bird strike reported. Thank you. Air France 648,
Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome to Roland Garros.
welcome to Roland
Contact
Garros.
ground on 121.9er.
Roland Garros is named
121.9, Air France 648.
solo across the Mediterranean Sea. Thank you for flying with Air France. Please remain seated until...
Ground, bonjour, Air France 648, request taxi to the gate.
Thank you for flying with Air France. The local time is
Air France
7:08
648,
p.m.
negative. Your tail number is not 648. Please verify your aircraft registration.
Flight 230
What?
to Nice departs
Air France
at
648,
8:30 a.m.
taxi to Terminal Gate
Gate
6 via
A3.
Alpha.
And
Good day.
Flight 450.
Gate 6 by Alpha Air France 648. Good day. What the heck is he talking about with the tail number? Alright, anyway, here we are. We'll wait a moment with the APU. Then we'll have to see about any bird strike damage. Obviously I did just retract the flaps, shouldn't have done that. That's what you get when you don't hear that fat loud bang that you got in the real world. Okay, anyway, I'd say it was a nice flight. Had some lovely views throughout the night across Jeddah, and other parts, beautiful sunset, beautiful sunrise, and beautiful approach here. And we are even on time, 10 minutes ahead of schedule. What else could we wish for? So, give me that ramp, number 6 please, no follow me. That's gonna be just in front of the French B over there. Here we go, number 6, just the first one at the terminal. ATC could have warned us about that lawnmower. Alright, start APU. Is that an A350-1000 or is it a 900? I can't quite tell with that livery. I want to say it is a 1000, but somewhat looks a little too small for it. Not 100% sure. Okay, lights are off. Left side is clear. Okay, the marshal is inside. How much further forward do you want us? No, this is doing the job for me. I'm not going any further, otherwise the catering vehicles are going to crash into my nose. Okay, APU running. 1, 2. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. Okay. Alright, both engines running down. Squawk machine off and engines off. Alright, shutdown checklist. Park and brake. Set. Shutdown checklist complete. So disarm the slides, set the chocks, ground power can be connected, air conditioning unit can be connected. And here we go. So let's see, hydraulic quantities are good, oxygen is good, engines, oil is normal, and all those messages are normal, so no defects to write down. And with that, welcome to Réunion. So let's have a nice layover. Unfortunately it is going to be a short one, but nonetheless I hope that you guys have enjoyed this flight. Thank you very much for watching. As always, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. And at this point, also once again, thank you very much to FSDG for providing me with this absolutely wonderful scenery over here.